Now, here's something that often confuses casual visitors to Germany, specifically Berlin. And I don't mean the usual questions like why bus drivers are so rude, where exactly the wall went, and who thought it was a good idea to put raspberry syrup in beer. No, I want to clear up the question of what you call this. What would you say? In many tourist guides it's called the Reichstag, but the U-Bahn station closest to it is called Bundestag. The bus stop has both names on it, and road signs in Berlin just can't seem to make up their minds at all. Well, none of these examples have it exactly right. It is in fact the Reichstag building plenary area, or more simply, the Reichstag building. Although it is very often known as the Reichstag, in actual fact the Reichstag no longer exists. The Bundestag does, and you can see part of it in this picture. It's not the building, it's the people who meet in it. The word Reichstag consists of two parts. The first part, Reich, is the German word for, it could be an empire or a kingdom, or it could be just about any territory ruled by almost anybody. There really isn't a good English translation for this word. The second part is Tag, which normally means day, but here it means a meeting or an assembly. In this sense, it can sometimes, at least in some contexts, be translated into English as diet. Strange, but true. I mean, we normally use this word to mean the food that you eat, but it also has this other meaning as well. It comes from a Latin word which at some point got mixed up with a similar Latin word for day, and that's how it ended up in German as Tag. Also strange, but true. Going back to the Middle Ages, the Holy Roman Empire was a collection of different territories all under a single ruler with the rank of emperor, and so qualified as an empire. The rulers of the different territories would meet with the emperor to make collective decisions on certain matters. These Imperial Diets were originally held at irregular intervals in different cities right across the empire. Most famously, in 1521, Martin Luther had to testify before the Diet of Worms. That's the city of Worms and not Worms. Nobody was being forced to eat worms. Eventually, things settled down, and the city of Regensburg became the permanent venue for the Perpetual Diet, which lasted from 1663 until the end of the Holy Roman Empire in 1806. 61 years later, the North German Confederacy constituted a parliament which it called Reichstag after the Imperial Diets of the Holy Roman Empire. When the German Empire was finally formed in 1871, it adopted the parliament and its name. The Reichstag kept its name even after the end of the monarchy in 1918, and the country was still known as Deutsches Reich. But the traditional English translation of German Empire was no longer accurate. There was no longer an emperor. And so English-speaking historians refer to the country during this period as the German Reich. It's just easier that way. After World War II, the Federal Republic of Germany was founded, or given its name, for very subtle legal reasons. The Federal Republic of Germany is considered to be the same country as the German Reich, but at the same time, it sort of isn't. Yeah, it's complicated. In any case, the parliament of this country was renamed Bundestag, Federal Diet. But the name of the building didn't change. It's still the Reichstag building, but it's where the Bundestag meets. Which means that this sign here has it more correct than most others. The building itself was completed in 1894. The newly unified Germany needed a grand, modern building where its parliament could meet, and this was it. Just 39 years later, it was gutted by fire and not used by the German parliament again for another 66 years. The Bundestag eventually moved in 1999, and what that means is that this building has been used for its intended purpose for only 60 years, out of a total of 126 years since its completion. Went or whoa, oh, that was weird. It is in fact the nearest to it is called Bundestag.